Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's me, your buddy Joe. Today, I thought I'd do something a little bit different. I'm going to make spaghetti and meatballs for dinner today, so I thought I'd do up this little video presentation for you and show you how I make it. I'm going to start with making my meatballs, because you know the first thing you gotta do, gang, when you're having spaghetti and meatballs, you gotta make the meatballs. Let's face it, okay? So, I don't know if you can see it on the cam or not, but right here on the counter, I've got a package of lean ground beef. I'm going to take it out of that package, I'm going to put it into that blue bowl, and I'm going to put a whole bunch of stuff in there, and I'm going to make some meatballs. So follow along while I make the meatballs. And then once I've got the meatballs all made into nice little 1-inch balls, because you know 1 inch is about the right size of a ball to stick in your mouth, right? You ladies all know that, right? Oh, we're going to have to edit that one out, right? No. This is your buddy Joe. He don't edit shit from nothing. Anyway, let's get back to the meatball preparation, shall we? So yeah, I'll make up the meatballs right now. I've already put the oven on. I put the oven on at 425 degrees, got it all nice and hot in there now. And then when I get the meatballs done, I'll put them in a ceramic baking dish, stick them in the oven for half an hour, and while they're cooking and baking away, I will prepare the sauce. Okay, so I will do that, and I'll have to, so you can see what I'm doing, I'll have to work off the end of my counter here, otherwise you won't know what I'm doing, because I'll have my back to you, blocking everything that I'm going to do to prepare the meat. So I'll just work off the end of the counter or stand to the side somehow, and you can watch me making a meatball. I'm going to make a meatball. But before I do that, I'm going to have a cup of tea, so excuse me for a second while I get a mug out of the cupboard and pour my, I've already made my pot of tea. I'm going to pour a pot of tea. This is going to taste so good. Tetley Orange Pico. I haven't had tea for a couple of days because I ran out of tea. So I went to the store today and bought tea, along with all the fixings for spaghetti. Cheers, gang. Let me put this down over here. Alright, so what we got here is a package of about 750 grams of lean ground beef. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up. I think it's all unfrozen. I'll break it up into this dish here. This will make a lot of meatballs. I don't know if I'll use it all or not, but this will make, I usually make a couple of dozen meatballs. And that's, you know, with a big pot of sauce. Wait till you see the pot I'm going to use to make my spaghetti sauce. By the way, my hands are clean. I'm not a dirty cook, you know. I'm a clean kind of cook, you know. I love to do the things I do it clean, you know. Only when I tell jokes I get to be dirty, you know. But I don't tell a dirty joke, you know. I never can't tell dirty jokes in a cooking show. You know. This is your buddy Joe with his spaghetti cooking show. Oh, there's still a little bit of frozen. It's not that frozen. Shit, I'm breaking it up with my fingers. Okay, so that's that whole package of, it's about 750 grams or something like that. I don't know, I can't read the label on there, I don't have it. But anyway, okay, so there we got in the bowl, we got all the ground beef. Now I'm going to add what I add to it. to get it all prepared and make the meatballs. First thing I gotta do is rinse my hands off now. I got my hands all covered in ground beef, Chuck. Whoa. I'll do a little dance for you. Hey, what do you think of my haircut? I don't know, can you see it? I'm gonna have to really do a close look at this video before I put it up online. But I got my haircut today too, gang. Oh yeah, today was haircut day in Canada. You got that right, Jack. Haircut day in Canada. Okay, so one of the ingredients that I put in meatballs, I'm going to put an egg in there. Okay? One egg is all I'm going to put in there. Hey, we don't need that. I'm going to put one egg in the ground beef. And what I'll do is I'll beat the egg first. I'm going to beat the shit out of the egg, lady. You know what I'm doing? I'm beating the shit out of the egg. And the way I'll crack it over top of a knife, like this. I crack it in the dish, you know? I gotta crack it in the dish like this. You say like that, I say like this, but we're gonna crack it anyway. Throw the shell in the garbage, we take this knife, we'll put this knife in the sink. Yes. Get out my trusty little whisk. And I'm going to beat the egg. I'm going to beat it into oblivion. I'm beating it into submission. I'm beating it into a pulp. Okay, so I just mix the white with the yolk a little bit, pour it into the beef mixture. That's how we're gonna do that, Jack. Now we need salt and pepper, which I got right here on the kitchen table. So we'll take the salt and pepper. We're going to take the salt and pepper.
Enjoy Stingray music free on your
and I'm going to getting the edge of the counter in the belly ain't too good. I gotta put some salt in the beef mixture, and I'll put about half a teaspoon, I guess, something like that. A lot of times I don't use measuring spoons, I can tell you that. I said, screw that nonsense, I can't see what I'm doing anyway. If it tastes good when it's cooked, it tastes good. If it don't, well, hey. Well, I might be getting salt all over the counter, but hey. There's half a teaspoon of salt. I'll leave the salt there. Whoa, a little burger for you on the little countertop there. Did you see that? Oh, a whole lot of burger on the countertop. Man, I just missed totally. That's one meatball. Whoa. Okay, so we got that, and then I gotta put in some garlic powder. And, oh wait a minute, before I put in the garlic powder, I'll put in some black pepper. I got to put in the black pepper, you know. Oh, I gotta just find the pepper shaker. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah, the light is on. I wouldn't know. Okay, so this is 1/8 of a teaspoon. Black pepper. That's about all the black pepper I need. I don't want to make it too pungent. Okay, now over here on the back of my stove, I've got garlic powder. It's just dry garlic powder on it. Oh, Jesus. It's not fresh. Well, it was fresh when they made it, maybe. So I'll put in some garlic powder. I'll put in a half a tablespoon thereabouts. Half a tablespoon of garlic powder. Oh, I got garlic powder all over the counter. What a sloppy chef I am. Let's see if we can clean that up. Just put all that. Oh, I don't know if that's garlic powder or salt. It's going in there anyway. There. I don't waste nothing. Try not to. Alright. So we got that. These are just the meatballs, by the way. They're, you know, I mean, what the heck. Okay, now the other secret ingredient I'm going to use for my meatballs is... What the hell is this? Too bad I can't see too well. Italian seasoning, dried herbs. Oh, we're going to put some herb in there. And we're going to put a tablespoon, thereabouts. I'm going to hold it right over the bowl this time. Get smart. I'll put a tablespoon of dried herbs. That's Italian seasoning. That's just a mixture of thyme, oregano, basil, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so we got that in there. And one last thing I'm going to put in is a little bit of dried breadcrumbs. These are seasoned breadcrumbs too, with Italian seasoning and whatnot. So I'm going to put a little bit of breadcrumbs in there. Oh, that might be about a third of a cup, I suppose. That's enough. Put that in there. That'll add a little flavor, and it will it'll help the meat mixture bind together when I form it into balls, right? Okay, so I think I've got everything I want in there as far as seasoning. So I started with salt and pepper. I put that in. I put in some garlic powder. I put in some Italian seasoning. I beat an egg and put one egg in there, and I put about a third of a cup of dried breadcrumbs, seasoned breadcrumbs in there. And I think that's all I put in for my meatball mixture. Yeah, and now the yucky part comes. You stick your hands in the meat like this. You see? And you mix this all up. You mix all that seasoning, all that breadcrumbs, the egg, the whole kit and caboodle, you know what I mean? You mix that up in here, in this bowl. Woo! And that meat's cold. It's a good thing this meat, I took the meat out of the freezer this morning before I went out. So it's still really cold, the meat, that is. Not my heart. My heart's really warm, you know. I have a warm heart. And so it's still kind of cold, but it's not unbearable. Sometimes you take it up, just do a quick thaw, and it's so damn cold you can't barely put your hand in there, you know. Ooh. But this should be good. I can smell the mixture. Oh man, this is, oh Jesus, you built some forearms doing this. If you got your hands in the ground beef every day for 8 hours, man, you're gonna have some beefy forearms. Whoa. Okay, so I think that's good. And I may not use this whole bloody mixture. What I might do is I'll make some meatballs, see how many meatballs I can make. Then if there's any beef left over, I'll just put it right in the sauce. Unless I just decide to make all the meatballs, I don't know. I just don't know how many I'm going to get out of. This is a big thing, see? Can you see that? Can you see that on the camera? That's the meat. Now what I got to do is wash my hands off and get this meat off of here now, because then I got to get a baking dish out of the cupboard. make up the meatballs, put them in the baking dish before I put them in the oven. Hey, let's give my hands a quick wash here. I give them a quick wash. Alright, so we got that. We got that going. We got the meat mixture done. Now I just got to form the meatballs. Cheerio. Don't you know? Because my name is Joe. But I'm Joe Hope from Kokomo. Put that back on there like that. Now we'll get out a nice ceramic baking dish. This is a 9-inch round baking dish, as you can see. These things are wonderful for cooking, man. Everything you cook in one of these things comes out just really nice. You can put it in the oven, whatever. And now, instead of using oil, I use vegetable spray. I'll spray up this in here like this. That way my meatballs are not going to stick to the bottom of this, stick to the bottom of that thing there. All right, so here we go. I'm going to form some meatballs. We're going to make it a meatball for you. So I grab a little of the meat mixture like this, and we just kind of roll it in the palms of my hand. See, like this? We roll it good. Now, I'll show you. I'll give you a show. I'll show you, baby. This here. That is a meatball. That be a meatball that's gonna be tasty for you, you know. Okay, so we'll make them all about that size. That's about 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches. I don't know. Put one there. That's one. I'm listening to the blues. I don't know what they're singing about, but I'm listening to the blues. Meatball number 2. From me to you. Meatball number 3. Meatball number 4. Meatball number 5. Whoa, you like the way I squeeze my meat, baby? Oh yeah, I squeeze the meat for you. Okay, so that's 6 meatballs. What I'm going to do, I'll just shut the cam down here, pause the cam, and then when I've got all the meatballs ready, I'll put them in the oven, I'll turn the cam back on, and we'll start preparing the meat, or preparing the spaghetti sauce itself. And then I'll show you what the next step will be in the old meatball and spaghetti sauce process, you know. You know, we got a meatball, we got a spaghetti sauce kind of thing happening over here, so, you know, that's what we got going here. So we're just going to go like this, and we're going to say, I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, gang. Let's see if I can get a close-up on this for you. These are the meatballs. There are 21 meatballs, approximately 1 inch, 1 1/4 inch big. Well, you can see for yourself. There you go. 21 meatballs out of that mixture. There's no meat left over. So there you go. Those are my meatballs, and I will put these in the oven now for about half an hour at 425 degrees. Oh, before I put these in the oven, I'm going to cover them with some aluminum foil so they'll stay moist. Because you know, you like to always have your balls got to be moist, right? You got to, you know, balls always taste better when they're a little moist inside, you know? You like that little juice, you know what I mean, eh? Yeah. So what I'm going to do is just take a piece of aluminum foil and I'll cover the dish, cover the balls. I got to cover my balls. I don't want you to see my balls. Is this going to be an X-rated cooking show? We don't know. Okay. Now for all you people who are not cooks and you don't know, aluminum foil has a shiny side and it's got a dull side. You always put your shiny side down against the food to reflect the heat back onto the food. That's why they do that. So, if you didn't know that before, there's your cooking tip for today. From your buddy Joe. Alright, okay gang, I'll open up the oven, slide those puppies in there. You know, I got an oven mitt on here. You don't think I'd be trying to pull the rack out of the oven with my bare hands, do you? I'm not that silly, you know. Okay, here we go. There's my meatballs. My meatballs are in the oven. Gosh dang it. Shove that in there. Okay, for about half an hour, and they'll be cooked. Because if they're not totally cooked, they'll finish cooking anyway in the sauce. So I'm going to use my timer function on my microwave here. Set it for 30 minutes. Boom! And there we go. The meatballs are in the oven for half an hour. Now, what's next on the old agenda, gang? We get out a big pot. This is my pot for making spaghetti sauce. So we got it right there. What I gotta do before I do anything. Oh, I'll just shut her down here for a few minutes. The next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to dice some onion and chop some onion and chop some green pepper, and I'll saute that in the big pot, and then I'll add all the sauce and stuff, and I'll come back and I'll show you what I do with all of that. Okay, so you don't need to see me chopping green pepper, chopping up an onion. You all know how that works, don't you? Besides, if I cut myself chopping, you don't want to see all that blood in my cooking show, do you? Okay, I'll be back in a few. Okay, so now, what I'm doing now is I'm sauteing some chopped onion and some chopped green pepper in the big pot here behind me on the stove, and I'll get that cooked up a little bit, saute it and get it softened up a little bit. Then I'll put all my sauce mixture in. I'll change the camera angle here so you can get a better look at what I'm doing. And hopefully this will work out just fine. I see my light is on my camera now, so not a problem. Okay, so now the green pepper and the onion are sauteing in here. I gotta put the heat back on. Works better when you got the heat on. I had the heat on, but then I turned it off when I was fiddling around with the camera. So that's okay. Oh, and I took the meatballs out of the oven. They're cooked. So we'll just saute these things up here a little bit. I gotta have another spot of tea. What time is it anyway? Oh, it's 5:30 already. It's gonna be a late dinner for me. Messing around trying to do a cooking show, you know, it ain't easy. I don't even know if you can see my face right now because of the way I got the cam set up. Can you see the pot? You can hear me though. There's nothing like a good cup of tea in the afternoon. And I've got my window wide open here. Get some fresh air in here. Okay, so what are we doing here? I'm just sauteing this up a little bit more. All I did was put about half a medium white onion in here, chopped up, and about half of a medium-sized green pepper in here. And you can put celery in here or any other kind of vegetables you like in your spaghetti sauce. That's up to you. Sometimes I put celery in, but I didn't put any in today because I didn't buy it. So there's just onion and green pepper in here with a little garlic powder. And once that's sauteed up there a little bit, I can't really see it. I just do everything by feel. And I'll add all the sauce mixture. Oh yeah, baby. I've only got the heat on medium here right now because I don't want to burn anything. But you know the smell of green pepper and the smell of onion cooking. Sometimes I don't like the smell of onion, but when I'm doing this, oh, the smell of the onion cooking away, sauteing in the pot here with a little garlic powder and the green pepper. Oh yeah, I'm so hungry now. I'm a hungry man. Alright, so now it's time to add the ingredients for the sauce. Now here's what we got going, gang. 2 cans of tomato sauce. I don't know what brand they are, it doesn't matter. It's tomato sauce, right? I'm going to put both of these cans. I've taken the tops. I've already used the can opener. And I'm going to pour this one in there. That's can number 1. Okay, let's move that out of the way. And then we've got can number 2. Can number 2 of the tomato sauce we've got together. Whoops, I don't think we want the lid from the can in there. I'm going to be careful, I don't want to cut my fingers. Alright, so there's 2 cans of 2 cans of tomato sauce. That's just I believe that's just regular. Yeah, it's just all-purpose tomato sauce. No name brand. I don't worry too much about brand names and that kind of stuff. Now here's what I put in. This is a big can, 28 ounces of diced tomatoes. Oh, this one says no salt added. Diced tomatoes with Italian spices. So this will be just perfect for spaghetti sauce, right? So we'll put this whole can in here, like so. A whole can of that. Give that a little mix up here. We got to give it a little mix up, you know. We got to do a little bit of a mix up. We got to be mixed up once in a while, you know. Okay, so I'm doing that. I got that green pepper and that onion in there, mixing in with the tomato sauce and the tomatoes. And the other thing I put into, some other people might not do this, but I do it. I put in a can of tomato paste. That helps thicken it up sometimes if it's, I don't know if I can use that in there. I just put tomato paste in there in case it's a little, because sometimes, you know, it's a little bit watery, so I put the tomato paste in there. This is Hunt's brand tomato paste. Yeah. So we'll put this small can of tomato paste. You know, I don't know what size it is. I don't pay attention to those kind of things, you know. I just do what I do when I do it, and I do it. I do it, do it, do it, do it. Okay, and then I'll use this rubber spatula dealy thing here to go inside the can and get it all out of there. Because there's no point in wasting any of it. Alright. Okay, so that's cleaned out. So let's put that over there. Rinse off my hands a little bit. Okay, so far I've got in there 2 large cans of tomato sauce, 1 large can of diced tomatoes, and a small can of tomato paste. I'll mix that all up here. Now what I do with those cans of tomato sauce that I put in the pot here a couple of minutes ago, there's still quite a bit of sauce. There's still sauce left in those cans, right? See, I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not, but there's still a little bit of sauce left in those cans. So what I do with this, I just take this and I put about maybe not even half a can of water in here, right? Cold water, to get all that sauce out of there. And this will add a little bit of water to the sauce anyway, which is what I want to do. So here we go, I'll just do this. Okay, so I've got that one there, and I do this with both cans. With both cans of the tomato sauce. Right? So I've got a little bit of water in this one, even less than that one. But what we're going to do is clean these out, right? Okay. So, now that one's cleaned right out, but we'll just do this. That gets all the sauce out of that one. Pour back in here, swish this one over, put a little more water in there. Swish this one around, right? Pour that one and that one. So that guarantees me I got every last ounce of sauce, and that's about not quite half a can. And I'm pouring that into the sauce here. So that's the base for the tomato sauce, right? For the spaghetti sauce. To this point, what I'm doing here is probably no different than 99% of people do when they make spaghetti sauce. Okay? This is just the base. This is the tomatoes, tomato sauce, tomato paste, right? That's it, with the chopped onion and chopped green pepper. But this is where maybe my recipe differs from yours. It's what I put in here now to season up this sauce. Okay? I don't know if you can see that, but there's a nice big pot of sauce. It's about an inch below the rim of this pot. And but I gotta make room for meatballs too, right? There's no meat in this. It's just the plain sauce at this point. Okay, so we'll just put all this stuff. We'll put all this stuff over here. We have another sip of tea. We'll get these lids away from me because you can cut yourself really badly on a lid of a can that you open with a can opener. Alright, so we're ready to put all the seasoning in my spaghetti sauce. Just kind of mix that up there and blend it all together for a minute. So I'm thinking about how I want to do this. Okay, so I think the first thing we'll put in some good old garlic powder. I like using garlic powder. Sometimes I use fresh garlic. I don't use garlic salt because I use regular table salt as well. So this is just garlic powder. And what we're going to do in this sauce here, I'm going to put in a teaspoon. I'll put in a teaspoon, maybe more, of powder. Oh, somebody's at my door. Excuse me. Just a minute. Excuse me while I go answer my door. All right, sorry about that, gang. I had to go to the door and see who was at my door. The UPS guy delivering something to the landlady upstairs, but she's not answering the door, so he asked if I'd sign for it, and being the nice tenant that I am, I signed for it. I wonder what it is. But I can't peek because the package is closed up. It's a cardboard box. So old Joe Boy can't peek. Okay, so back to the spaghetti sauce dealie. Okay, so I just put in about, how much did I put in there? A teaspoonful of, I gotta take these off. I can't see what I'm doing with my glasses on. I put in about a teaspoonful of garlic powder. Now we're going to put salt in. And I'll put in maybe a teaspoon of salt. How about a teaspoon of salt? So there's a teaspoon of garlic powder, teaspoon of salt in there. Okay. Don't want to put too much salt. Salt's not good for you anyway. But you gotta have it once in a while for a little flavoring. Now we gotta put in some black pepper. You notice, put the same things in the sauce that I put in my meatball mixture, huh? Yeah. Okay, about, what is this? I don't know how much that is. There's about 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper. Okay, so we've got pepper in there, we've got salt in there, we've got the garlic powder in there. Now, I use Italian seasoning in a lot of food, okay? And obviously this is Italian kind of a food, spaghetti sauce with a tomato base. So I use Italian seasoning in my spaghetti sauce. And here's about how much I put in. This is a tablespoon I'm using. So there's 1 tablespoon. I'll put 2 tablespoons in here. That's a big tablespoon. There's another tablespoon. So a couple of tablespoons of Italian seasoning should be good. Okay. So that's pretty much it for the seasoning mix. I put in, one other thing I put in is some bay leaves. Okay. Let me get out some, let me find some bay leaves here. In my cupboard, I've got some bay leaves in my cupboard. Jesus Christ. What the hell is this? Oh, it's the other can. Sorry, gang. It's tough to do this stuff. Oh, I gotta put in parsley too. It's tough to do this stuff sometimes when you can't see what you're doing, but I just do it. I do it anyway. I do what I do. If I can't see it, I can't see it. I do it anyway. Yes, I do it. I do it, I do it, I do it. Oregano. Oh, oregano. Hey, good idea, oregano. Oh, we got that. We got that. Oh, here's the bay leaves. Okay, so I got some bay leaves here. And I put in, depending on how big they are in the package here, full bay leaves are pretty big sometimes. So I put in 2 or 3 of these. Yeah, see that? I'll put in a couple of those. 1. There's a big one. 2. I'll put a 3rd one in. Bay leaves add a nice flavor. So there's a piece of one there. That's enough. Okay, so that's my bay leaves. Okay, I keep them in a plastic baggie. Okay, put that back in there, that back in there. This is where I keep all my spices and stuff. Oh, there's a little yucky in here. Jesus. Alright, so I got the bay leaves in there. Now, something else I put in. I offset all that salty stuff, you know, the garlic powder and the salt and pepper. I offset it by putting in some sugar. Some white sugar. And depending on how sweet you like your sauce, I just put in a couple of tablespoons. 1, 2. That should do it. Because I don't like mine too sweet. I like it more like the Italians do, you know? I don't know. How do the Italians like it? I don't know. I never asked an Italian. How do you like your spaghetti sauce, man? Well, usually I like it in a plate or in a bowl, man. All right. So I think I've got. Oh, one other thing I gotta put in here that I like to use if I've got some on the back of the oven stove here is parsley. This is dried parsley, and I'll put a tablespoon of dried parsley in here. That's a half a tablespoon, so okay. Parsley is a nice herb too, so I'll put a tablespoon of that in, about a tablespoon anyway. And that's it. So those are all the spices I've got in there, right? That's everything I put. So I put salt and pepper, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, bay leaves, sugar, and parsley. I think that's pretty much everything that goes in my sauce. Now I'll stir all those herbs and spices into there. Stir it in real nicely. Oh yeah, I'm wearing black. I'm wearing a black polo shirt, long sleeve polo shirt, with my white and black lounge pants. I was going to change shirts earlier, because when I got home from the grocery store and got my hair cut, I had a shower, right? And because I always like to have a shower after I get my hair cut, get all that hair off my skin and stuff that might still be there, right? So I thought, well, I'll just put a fresh shirt on, right? And I was going to put, because I'm wearing black and white pants, I thought, well, I'll just put on a white polo shirt. Then I thought to myself, well, wait a second. Not a good idea to wear white when you're making spaghetti sauce, because this stuff can spit at you and whatever, right? You know, before I know it, the nice clean white polo shirt's gonna be splattered with red spaghetti sauce. It'll go in the laundry bag, right? Oh my God. Because you know me, I like to wear a shirt for a couple of weeks before I wash it. You believe me, don't you? Sure you do. No, but anyway, so I just kept the black one on. For the preparation anyway, for the preparation part of this video adventure. Don't you know, you're cooking with Joe, your buddy Joe. Alright, gang, so what we got here is a big pot of spaghetti sauce, all seasoned up. That's what you do, that's how you make spaghetti sauce. At least that's how I do it. I don't know how you do it. I'm not coming over to your house to find out either. Not unless you send a chauffeured limousine to pick me up and it's got a couple of cute girls in the back seat waiting to serve me, you know what I mean? Drinks, all that kind of stuff. Because there's more to life than just making spaghetti sauce. Come on now. Hey. Don't you know I'm your buddy Joe, you know. Okay, gang, so there's the spaghetti sauce. Sometimes I can fill this sucker right up to the brim, but when I put all those meatballs in there, it's going to raise the level of the sauce in the pot, and I'm going to let it cook. I'll get out my trusty tongs here, and I'll show you the meatballs. Hopefully this should be cool enough I can ooh, that's hot. But I'll show you here. Okay. Can you see that? That's my meatballs. I don't know if you can see it on the cam or not, but that's my meatballs. And there's 21 there, and I'm going to put them in the sauce right friggin' now. One at a time. Okay, so let's count them, shall we? Come on, you count with me. Count them together. So we got 1. Before I do that, I gotta take this thing out of here. So I'll get my dish. Put that on the dish so I don't get sauce all over the counter. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 dozen, 13, 14, 15, 16, oops, 17, 18, 19, and 20, and 1 makes a 21. Oh, and there's a little piece. I found a little piece on the counter after and just kind of tossed it into the pan to cook. A little smidgen, you know. It's a baby balls. Baby balls. So there's 21 meatballs in there and a little piece. Now we mix all those meatballs in there like that, you see. And I'm going to let this just on medium heat, put the top on my pot here and let this simmer for about half an hour, 45 minutes. It's 5:54 right now here in Vancouver. Well, I'm actually in Surrey. Sorry, but I'm in Surrey. And I'll put this top on there now, nice glass top. I can see inside the pot. That's my spaghetti sauce, gang, and in about 45 minutes I'll put some water on to boil some water for the spaghetti noodles. And boil some spaghetti noodles. There. Once that comes to a boil, then I'll turn the heat down on low and let it cook. Otherwise it'll burn on the bottom of the pot and stuff. And now while this is cooking, I'll clean up my kitchen. Wash all these dishes up. Well, I think I might have to wash the floor too by the feel of it. Anyway. So this is how I do spaghetti sauce. I hope you enjoyed this little presentation. And if there's anything else I want to add, I'll come back and I'll continue with the show, don't you know? Or my name's not Joe. So yeah, I can hear that starting to bubble away there now, so I'm gonna, once it really gets going there, I'll turn down the heat a little bit so it doesn't burn on me. And I'll just let it cook for 45 minutes or an hour, you know. I'll be fine. If I eat at 7 o'clock, I eat at 7 o'clock, right? 7:30, well, whatever, you know. Continue to drink my tea and I'll be good to go. Anyway, gang, thanks for watching my zany food show. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll chat with y'all later, gang. Later. All right, folks. It's going on 6:50 in the evening here. There you see the spot or the pot, not the spot. There you see the pot of spaghetti sauce on the stove cooking away. And I'll just kind of move over this way, and there you see I've got the spaghetti boiling in the hot water, and as soon as that's done cooking I will drain it and blanch it and put it in my dish, put some spaghetti sauce on top of it with a few meatballs, and voila, I will have din din. So, I hope you enjoyed this presentation. We'll get back to you again sometime with another tasty dish on the cooking show with your buddy Joe. Ciao for now.